Okay, so I wanted to do a little video on stonework for you. This is rough utility work, uh, very, very rough, heavy work. So it's kind of a good thing to demonstrate. So we had a window opening here. It's been filled up with rock. We basically got the rock, put the rock in with mortar between the rock. So you probably, obviously, anybody could have done that. You could have done that. But it doesn't look right, does it? No, because it's not finished. It's not been pointed. So I'm going to show you the concept of pointing. And pointing is something that happens after you build. So, get your pointing tool, you get your trowel, got your mortar. This is all there is to it. See that? And you kind of work it into the vertical gaps. There's a sort of an art to it, but it's not rocket science. And I can tell you, after a very short time, pretty much a automated process. You just run along here and you fill, and you kind of work it into the verticals, and you fill those gaps right out. And for the bigger gaps, you can use your large trowel and your small trowel to increase the amount that you're getting in there. So, here with the pointing tool. And these come in different widths. For rough work, you want a 1/2 inch pointer. I have some down to like 1/8 of an inch for very different types of work. But for working on a barn wall, you want a 1/2 inch pointer. Run, and it's very simple. You don't have to be nervous. It's not fussy. This is not something you need to be stressing about. Just lay it on. Okay, so I've done enough to show you, and now you say, well, it still doesn't look right. And that's true, because now you've built, you've pointed, but you haven't smoothed the mortar. So we're going to walk around the other side of the wall where I pointed about 20 minutes ago, and I will show you the finishing steps. So come with me. I'm right here. So, it's the other side of the same section. This has been built, pointed, and smoothed on a previous day. This up here, where it looks messy, was pointed this morning. So I actually advocate these semi-disposable rubber gloves. In the old days, you'd use a tool, but they didn't have this kind of glove, and they couldn't afford to wear out every pair of leather gloves they owned. So you can see it magically becomes smooth. Now in really fancy work, there's a lot of consideration not to get any mortar on the faces of the stones. So you might come along here in 20 more minutes with a wire brush and really work it back. But look at this wall, look at the old work. So I mean, the work that we're doing, even without that level of time and expense, is superior to the old work, and there's actually no reason, when you're putting a plug into an existing wall, there is absolutely no reason to exceed the level of cosmetics in the existing structure. So for this job, just when it's, half dry, you work it with a rubber glove, And when it's dry, it's going to look slightly better than the existing wall, but it's not going to be like jarringly different. That's all you got to do. You lay the stone, you point the stone, you smooth off the pointing before it dries. End video.